will wait for some minutes to join others. Am I audible to all? So we are waiting for 2 minutes to join others. If there is no student, then I will start my class for today. So I am waiting for 1 or 2 minutes to join the student. If it is not there, then I will take the class by myself. So today we are going to learn about the network analysis, how the network analysis works in our system of inventory control or any kind of the LBP or any kind of the dynamic problem, how the network works. So we are going for the network analysis for today. So I am waiting for just 2 minutes to join others. If there is no student, then I have to take the class by myself and it will be over for your syllabus. As of now there is no student, so I shall start my class. The part of network analysis that is called the part and CPM. So here you can see that theory and application of operational research for the project management. Here PERT part and CPM. Part means the project analysis through systematic network showing various alternatives. Path in is known as the part, program evaluation and review technique. So the full form of part PERT is program evaluation and review technique. So definition is given here. Project analysis through systematic network showing various alternative paths is known as part. Now for this part we have to know what is the event. Event means the starting and finishing of an activity is called the event. Event means starting and finishing activity is called the event. Event itself does not take any time. It is denoted by circle with the number inside. In event 1 is denoted by 1 within the circle. Actually event is denoted by this within the circle. That is the way of representation of event. So event means the starting and finishing of an activity is called event. Starting and finishing. Event itself does not take any time. It is denoted by the circle with the number inside. Right? As for example, here it is given event 1 is denoted by 1 within the circle. The events that immediately come before another event without any intervening events are called predecessor event. So what is the predecessor event? The event that immediately come before another event without any intervening events are called the predecessor event. So it is called the predecessor event. Event or events that immediately follow other event without any intervening event are called successor event to that event. So what is the successor event? Event or events that immediately follow another event without any intervening event are hello. Ragni, do you have any question? are going for the events. Here let us again go for that event. The starting and finishing of an activity is called the event. Event itself does not take any time. It is denoted by the circular part. If it is event 1, then 1 with the circle, that is called the event. The events that immediately comes before another event without any intervening events are called the predecessor event to that event, which is the previous, that is predecessor event, and which is the following event, that is called the successor event. Now we are going for activities. Is my handwriting is readable to you? Is my handwriting is readable to you? Activity means it is the operation done between two events and is denoted by an arrow. So between any two events which activities are done, it is generally denoted by arrow. Preceding events and successor events, between these two what is done, that is called the activity. Here design activity duration, so it is the activity design. Design is here activity and we are making one arrow. Arrow is denoted the activity. Now dummy activity. The activity which does not consume any time is called the dummy activity. So the activity which does not consume any time, that is called dummy activity. It is denoted as arrow with some dotted line. Arrowhead with some dotted line with arrowhead. Optimistic time. It is the earlier completion time. Optimistic time means it is the earlier completion time. It assumes that execution goes extremely well. It is denoted as 2. T0 actually. Optimistic time is denoted as T suffix naught. It is the earliest completion time. It assumes that execution goes extremely well. It is denoted by T0. T0 means the optimistic time. Now pessimistic time. If it is the latter completion time. Previously the optimistic time was the earliest completion time, and pessimistic time means it is the latter completion time. It assumes that execution goes extremely poor. It is denoted as TP, T suffix P. So optimistic time T0, T actually TO, and pessimistic time TP. For pessimistic time the suffix P is coming here, and for optimistic time the suffix O is coming here. T suffix O is the optimistic time, and for pessimistic time T suffix P. Now normal time. It is the most likely time. It assumes that the execution is done under normal condition, denoted by Tn. Normal time, so n is coming into the suffix Tn. Now estimated time. It is statistically determined time. Estimated time means it is statistically determined time. It is denoted by T suffix E as the estimated time. So Te equal to T0 plus 4Tn plus Tp by 6. This is the formula for Te. So it is statistically estimated time. The time is estimated statistically. So it is given that Te is equal to T0. T0 means the optimistic time. Tn is the normal time. Tp is the pessimistic time. So T0 plus 4Tn plus Tp by 6, that is the Te, expected time of T. So this is the expected time TE, T naught plus 4Tn plus Tp by 6. Earliest expected time, that is TE, earliest expected time. Previously it was earliest time and expected time. Now it is earliest expected time, that is T capital E, capital T suffix capital E. It is the time that the activity consume, or it is the longest path that the activity ending event took for its completion. So it is the time that the activity consume, or it is the longest path that the activity ending event takes for its completion. This is calculated by adding the expected time of each activity through any path of the network up to the event. It is denoted as, for example, if it is 8, T equal to 8, then it is with the square box, 8 with the square box. So TE is equal to 8 weeks. Now example, we are going for some example. Draw a network for the following project and number the events according to the Foote-Fulkerson rule. So here we have to use the Foote-Fulkerson rule to make the project evaluation. Number A, capital A is the starting event and K is the end event. B is the successor event of A. B is the predecessor event of C and D. C is the predecessor event of F. E is the successor of C and D. E is the predecessor of G. D is the predecessor of J. G is the predecessor of J. And H is the successor of F and precedor of J. J is the precedor of K. Now look at here, all those information are given here, and it is also given that A is the starting event. So we have to start from A, and K is the end event. Both are given, starting and end. These are given. Now B is the successor event of A. So after A we have to take B. Now B is the predecessor event of C and D. So from B there must be the two branches, one coming into the C, another coming into the D. Now C is the predecessor of event F. C is the predecessor event of F. So from C there is a event, that is F. E is the successor of C. So after C there will be a C. After C there will be E is successor of C and D. So C and D will be ahead of E. E is the predecessor of G. So G will be ahead of E. D is the predecessor of J. So D will be previous of J, and G will be previous of J, and H is the successor of A. So from F there will be a part H and there will be a part J. J is the predecessor of K. Now look at here, A. A is the starting point, K is the end point. Now look at here, for first A is the starting event and K is the end event. Now B is the successor event of A. So B is ahead of A, and this is the activity A is done here. B is the ahead of A. Now look at here, for 3. B is the predecessor of event C and D. So B will be predecessor of event C and D. So from B there must be the two branches, one going to C, another going to D. So look at here, from B there are two branches, one going to C, another going to D, and here the activities are taken as B and C. Now go for the next part. D. C is the predecessor of event F. C is the predecessor of event F. So from C there is a event F. So C is the predecessor of F, and here the activities is done F. Now again for CD, you have to go for E. E is the successor of C and D. So from D there is a part of E, and from C there is a part of E. So from here we can conclude that E is the successor number E is the successor of C and D. So E is ahead of C and D. So here the activities are taken E, and here the activities taken E. So F and E is completed. Now for F means E is the predecessor of G. E is the predecessor of G. That means from E there is a part G. So E is the predecessor of G. There is a activity G. Now we are going for G. Activity G means D is the predecessor of J. D is the predecessor of J. So from D to J there is a part. Here is the J. So from D to J, this is the activity K. Then for H, G is the predecessor of H. So from G there is a part of H. So H is ahead of G. So G is the predecessor of H. Here it is the J. Now H is the successor of F. So from F there is a part is H. So H is the successor of F, and F is the predecessor of H. And H is the successor of F and predecessor of G. So H is the successor of J. Predecessor of J. That means J is ahead of H, and F is previous of F. J is the predecessor of K. J is the predecessor of K. So there is a path J to K. Is it understood? What are given here? We have done exactly that. We have done exactly that. What are given here? A to B, B to C, and D. Then D to E and F, as E and A both are the successor of C, as B is the successor of A, or A is the predecessor of B. So we are taking A to B, one arrow. This arrow means the activities, and circle means the event. Already we have known. So this method is known as, so at first we are making the network. Right here, look at the draw a network for following project and number the events accordingly to the Fulkerson rule. So here what is given here, according to that we are making the network. Now is it understood by everybody? Will this one is understood? If not, then you can ask me the question where it is getting confused. All those things are given here. What are given here, we have just done here accordingly. Accordingly we have done that, and we know what is the predecessor and what is the successor. So according to that predecessor and successor, we are write down this. Now critical path. The path which consumes the maximum time is known as critical path, and the activities following this path are critical activities. Critical path means which path takes the most time, largest time, and this path also called the critical path, and this activity is also called the critical activities. The importance of the critical path lies in the fact that any delay in the critical path will involve the delay in the project time. So if in a critical path there is some delay, then total project time will be delayed. But the delay in the other path does not necessarily imply that the entire project will be delayed. There may be more than one critical path. So critical path, if there is any delay for any critical path, that will be affected our total project time. But if the path is not critical, on that case, if there is any delay, that may or may not be infected our total project time. So critical path obviously infected our total project time. So for any delay of our critical path or critical time, if it is longer than usual, then the project will be held for longer than usual. So critical path affect the project time. Least allowable time, that is TL. It is the time we can allow after which no event could occur but still not interfacing with the completion of the entire project. It is denoted as this TL, this triangle shape. This is called the least allowable time, TL. TL generally denoted by with a triangle. It is the time we can allow after which no event could occur but still not interfacing with the completion of the entire project. Now next is slack time. Slack time means more time to work, less to worry about and transfer of main machinery and supervision of the difficult activities on the critical path. So this slack time does not affect our critical path, that means it does not affect our project time. So as that's why for any kind of the activity, that activity does not a part of our critical path. If there is any dilemma or delay, then that extra time is called the slack time. So slack time means the more time to work. That is the slack time which does not infected our total project time. That means it does not infected our critical path. It is mathematically calculated as slack S equal to TL minus TE. TL means least allowed time minus estimated expected time. TE means look at here, TE means estimated earliest expected time. So TL minus TE, that is called the slack time. Slack time is TL minus TE. Note that slack is the critical path is 0. Note that slack in the critical path is 0. So slack time is not affected this. So if it is critical path, then it is 0. Then S equal to 0. Then TL equal to TE. Then estimated time is equal to the total TL. Now example, a part network is shown below. It shows event activities T0 to Tn and Tp. The problem is number 1 to find out the earliest expected time TL for different activities and for the project. Number 2 to determine also the latest allowable TL for different activities and for the project, showing the slacks for different activities. Now it is given here 0 and this is the TL as it is into the triangle shape. So that is the TL and it is the TE, and this is the activity 1, T equal to 3, 1 to 9. So here from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4, 2 to 3. So this 4 and 3 are the predecessor of 2. 2 is the successor of 1 and 4 and 3 are the successor of 2, and 2 is the predecessor of 4 and 3, and this is the dummy activity. So time is taken as 0. So T equal to 4 here, and that TL equal to 8 and TE equal to 7. T capital E equal to 7. Now from here 3 to 5 one path, 4 to 5 one path, 4 to 6 one path. So this 6 and 5 is the successor of 4, and for successor of 3 there are 5 and 7, that is given, and T is given for each of the cases 3 to 5, 4 to 5, 4 to 6, then 3 to 7. Then 7 is the completion method, it is the successor of 6 and 5. Here it is given 3, 5, 13. So T equal to 6 is given, and 5 to 7 it is T is given 8, and 5 7 15, and for 3 to 7 there are t equal to 9. So here 6 8 12. This is the given path. Now we have to calculate. Number 1, to find the t, we have to find the different activities for the formula t. T equal to, previously we have seen that t0 plus 4tn plus tp by 6. The t of that event is always the largest sum of the preceding t's. For forward movement of the activity, this forward movement, this t capital E of that event is always the largest sum of the preceding t's. To find TL value for a given event is calculated by the subtracting the sum of the expected estimated time minus TL. Therefore, TLs can be calculated by this S equal to TL minus this direction of the arrow. To find slack time, S equal to TL minus T. To find the critical path, we have to calculate the maximum consume of the time. For quick finding, we choose the path where TL equal to T. So, S equal to 0, that means where slack time is not required. It is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. Look at here, 1, 2, 4, 5, 7 is the longest path. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. So that is 22. 1 to 2, that is 3. 2 to 4, that is 5. 3 plus 5, 8. Then 4 to 5. 8 plus 6, 14, then 5 to 7, 14 plus 8 equal to 22. That is the critical path. So, critical path is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. So, this is also the longest path, and we are choosing the critical time so that slack time should be 0, TL equal to T. So, we are taking this critical path. And it is denoted by the double line. Look at here, critical path. This double line at the critical path. Standard deviation of an activity is sigma equal to Tp minus T0 by 6. Variance equal to, we know that sigma square, that is Tp minus T0 by 6 whole square. And standard deviation of entire project is Tp minus T by sigma total. So that means Tp minus T by root over summation of variance of the activities on the critical path. That is the total sigma. Total sigma means root over summation of variance of all activities of the critical path. Now example is given here. Find the probability of the completion 2 days later of the following project problem. Find the probability of completion 2 days later of the following project problem. Number B, suppose we are late by 3 days when we have completed the activity 2 and 3. What is the probability of completion of the project in time? So here we are taking that we are late by 3 days when we have completed the activity 2 and 3. Then what is the probability of the completion of the project in time? The following table is given with T0, Tn and Tp. So according to the given table, we can include the calculated part of the further proceed. Here the calculated part is given, activities T0, Tn, Tp. These are given like this. So Te equal to 1, sigma is given, sigma square is given 1 to 2. Two to 3, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 5, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. These all are given. So from here we got that T0, Tn, Tp, Te, sigma and sigma square. So you have to make all those things. So T0 is equal to 0.7, 3.8, 5.2, 2.1, 2.0, 0.7, 0.7. And again Tn and Tp, Te, sigma, sigma square, let's get it. So Te equal to T0 plus 4Tn plus Tp by 6 and sigma equal to Tp minus T0 by 6 and sigma square means whole square of that is the variance. Now the critical path is where the source to be taken as 0 weightage. Now look at here. It was the critical path 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Now here it is taken 1 to this 1. T equal to 1, then T equal to 6, here T equal to 8, here T equal to given 7, here T is given 3, here T given 3, here T given 1. So completion part is 6. So 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 is the critical path. 11 means total incoming weightage, right? Total incoming weightage here. How many incoming here? Here it is 8, here it is 3. 8 plus 3, 11. And 10. This 10 means T1 plus T6 plus T3. T1 plus T3 plus T6. That is the longest path. That is 1 plus 6 plus 3. That is 10. Is it clear? What is this? Total incoming weightage. Total incoming weightage with the longest path 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. Here it is 1 plus 6, 7 plus 3, 10. That is the T. And total weightage from here to here, then here to here, then here to here. Total weightage time, incoming weightage time. Here how many incoming weightage time for 4? There are 2 incoming parts, number 2 to 4 and 3 to 4. 2 to 4 it is 8 and 3 to 4 it is 3. So it is 11. Here 1 is the incoming, so that is also 1, this also 1. Now for the 3 incoming weightage is, how many incoming weightage are there? Incoming weightage, here 6 and from here to here this 6 plus 1, 7. 1 was there plus 6, 7. For 5 incoming weightage, both of this, that is 7 plus 3, 10 plus here the 7 is 14 and 14. Here T is equal to 1. So total incoming weightage from here 1 plus 6, 7 plus 7, 14 plus 1, 15. 15 is here. Therefore the critical path is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Look at here 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. These double line arrows are the critical path. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Now if between 3 to 4 there is some delay time, 2 to 4 there is some delay time, 4 to 5 there is some delay time, it does not affected our critical path, that means total project time. These are the slack time. If there is some dilemma or any kind of the delay for activities 2 to 4, that will not affect our total project. That is called the slack time. If there is any dilemma for activity 3 to 4, completion of 3 to 4, then this time will be called the slack time. If there is any dilemma for activity 4 to 5, that is also called the slack time. So 2 to 4, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. These are not in the critical path. These activities are not in the part of our critical path. So for these activities, if there is some extra time also taken, then also it is not a problem for us to make the project run in time. So this is the critical path. So sigma square equal to, we are adding the all sigma square. Here it is given the sigma square. So we are only adding the sigma square of critical path. Critical path was 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So 0.01 plus 1, 3, 5. So 3 to 5, 3.24, 5 to 6, 0.01. These four are the critical path. 0.01 plus 1.00 plus 3.24 plus 0.01, that is 4.26. So sigma equal to root over this is equal to 2.046. Now t equal to 15 days. T equal to 15 days. So Tp equal to t plus 2. So 15 plus 2, 17 days. Here it was given that 15 days. Total time was, that is the 15 days was the total time for the critical path, that is it was the expected time was 15 days. If we add 2, then it will be coming 17. Look at here, t was 15 days. So Tp equal to t plus 2, that is 17 days. Standardized deviation of this entire project is z equal to Tp minus t by sigma entire. That is 17 minus this by 2 point, it was already we got 2.064 is equal to 0.968, which is the probability. So corresponding to this value, this we get the probability P z less than equal to this is equal to this P of z, that is 0.986, which is less than equal to this. From z table, the normal standard deviation is, therefore from here we can make it into the percentage. Probability is 83.15%. Is it clear? It was the expected time which is lesser than that, and it is coming like that, 0.8315. So what is the percentage of that? That is 83.15%. That is the project will be completed within time. The percentage of probability or percentage is 83.15. Again we are late by 3 days when we completed the activity 2 and 3, 2 to 3. For the B part, there was a problem was given that after 3 days, we late by 3 days when we have completed the activity 2 to 3. Now we consider the problem 2 to 3 is complete. So next part will be 3, 5, 6 only. So sigma square 3, 5, 6, we have to add that 3 to 5 and 5 to 6. Look at here, 3 to 5 and 5 to 6. What is the table? 3 to 5. Sigma square of 3 to 5 is equal to 3.24 and 5 to 6 is 0.01. So we have to add these two, 3.24 plus 0.01. plus 0.01 is this. Now sigma equal to root over this, it is coming this. So t equal to 15 plus 3, that is 18 days. Tp equal to 15, so z equal to Tp minus t by sigma of 356. 356, that is here. So 15 minus 18 by this, minus of this. Similarly we get minus of this, it is coming that 1 minus 664. So 1 minus of this, that means the 0 point this. So percentage of the probability is, if we take that 4.85. So 4.85%. So rounding off it, we can write down it as 5%. So from normal distribution table, we can say that it is the 5% of the probability. If 2 to 3 activities 2 to 3 done, after that the delay is 3 days, then the probability of the completion of the work within the time is 5%. Now we are going for the critical path. Critical path is mainly make a very much important role in our network flow. it has been discussed that the two basic events of a network are event and activity. Event represent a significant point of time, while the activity is a time consuming event element. The network technique which emphasized more on event is called the part, and the other which emphasized more on activity, that is called CPM. When it is emphasized more on event, then it is part. When it is emphasized on the activity, then it is CPM. Activity means the arrowhead, and part means the event, means the circular part, circular events. When it is depend on event, then it is part. When it is depend on activity, then it is CPM, that means critical path measurement. The other point where CPM differ from part is that CPM does not take into account of the uncertainties, while estimated is activity time. In CPM, costs are related to time. Now here another thing will be coming, that is called float. The float on the activity has the same significance as the slack in the part. Slack time was, what is the role playing the slack time in the part? Same thing is float. In case of our CPM, in part it is called slack, and when we are going for the CPM, that is critical path measurement, then it is coming as float. Slack corresponding to the event and hence to part, while the float corresponds to the activities and hence to CPM. These are three types of the float. It is the amount of the time by which an activity can be delayed without affecting the earliest start or occurrence time of any other activity. It is denoted as FS. T equal to activity duration, taking T equal to Tn of, if T0 Tp is not given, and taking D equal to T if T0 Tn and Tp is given, then FF equal to 1 to 2 is equal to Te2 minus Te1 plus D. Total float is equal to Tf is equal to TL2 minus Te1 plus D, and independent float If equal to Te2. So these are given here. This circular path means the total time, TL1, TL2, 1 to 2, and T, this is the box condition, that means estimated time. So these are given, and activity as given here as the D, and event are 1 to 2. So from here TL1 and TL2 is the time activity, and it is the expected estimated time, Te1 and Te2. So independent float equal to T2 minus TL1 plus T equal to T2 minus TL1 plus D. So this is the formula to find out this. So after that we are starting this part of CPM, which is required here to solve all those problems. So now you can ask me whether you have understood or not what is the CPM or critical path method. It has been discussed that the two basic elements of a network, that is event and activities. Event are generally denoted by the circular path, and activity is denoted by arrowhead. Event respects significant point of time, while the activity is time consuming element. So event is the time and activity is the time consuming element. The network technique which emphasize more on the event is called part, which is emphasize more on event, that is part. Project evaluation and review techniques, part. And which emphasize on the activity, that is called CPM. So that is the clear-cut difference between part and CPM. Part means here activity will be done more, and in case of our CPM, here some activity will become. For part, event will become, right? Emphasize on event, that is part. Emphasize on activity, that is CPM. That is critical path method. So next day we are going to start this critical path method, which is required to solve our all those problems. So it is very important for you, and it is very important for any kind of the project completion. If you know all those things, then you can manage any kind of the project within the stipulated time. And you have to know how to calculate the total expected time and all those things which are given here. So this play a very most important role in your project management. To manage any kind of the project, you have to choose this kind of the network analysis. This network analysis is obviously one of the main part of your significant project time. So for this note, I am just closing this one for today. So next day we are taking some problem for CPM, that is critical path method. So next day we will discuss about some problem of critical path method. Today we have already discussed about the part problem, that is project evaluation and review technique. That problem already we have solved. Now in the next class we will want to solve some problem related on critical path method, that is shortly called the CPM. So I am stop the sharing. So there are no people, only Ragni Rani Rashi is here. So Ragni, if you have any question, then you can ask me. Otherwise I can conclude the class. Ragni, is there any question about today's learning? If it is not, then I will go to conclude my class. I think there is no question for Ragni. So I just conclude my class with this note. Okay, thanks to all of you.